Hi everyone, this is Lada from astrolada.com, and these are your September 2016 horoscopes. And what a month is coming for us. So many astrological events. It will be a really interesting prognosis and forecast because the energy is shifting in wonderful and in very different ways, and for some of them it will be a bit more difficult, for some of you it will be a bit easier. But we have two eclipses in Pisces and in Virgo. I'm going to speak in particular about them, how they're going to impact Pisces and Virgo. But we also are having Jupiter passing into Libra. So the whole energy of where our luck is coming from, where our biggest opportunities are coming from, is going to shift from September onwards, and will stay like that for the next 12 months. So actually I'm going to give you an insight into how the next 12 months, almost a year, will be, and where you can expect opportunities and growth in your life. And for those of you actually who want to know in depth how Jupiter in Libra will impact you specifically, you can order my 3-hour course that I did, which is about Jupiter in Libra. It teaches you step by step how to see how Jupiter will impact any kind of everything in your horoscope and what it means for you. It's a really insightful webinar. I'm putting a link for it here, and you'll learn how to see and understand Jupiter like a professional astrologer, even without any astrology knowledge. Also, Mercury is going retrograde. Will be retrograde most of September. This is a big thing now, and in Virgo, and it's going to start moving direct towards the end of the month, in the last week of the month. And speaking about Mercury retrograde, I want to tell you that on the 1st of September, when Mercury has turned retrograde, I'm going to be doing a webinar just for $20 on retrograde planets in the birth horoscope, what they mean. These people have special mission that have retrograde planets. They are here with much more different, with kind of slightly different experience of the energies of planets than other people, with more specific and different outlook on life and mission in life. So those of you who want to find out about your retrograde planets and what they mean in your life and how they're going to manifest, you can, there is a link here to subscribe to my webinar, which will be on the 1st of September, Thursday. And I hope you enjoyed those predictions. They are full of amazing information. Hi wonderful Pisces, this is your September 2016 horoscope with me, Lada. And September is such an important month for you. Maybe I've been repeating this in the previous videos as well, because so many Pisces have been affected in the last few months, almost a year, by all the eclipses that have started happening in Pisces all the time, and in the opposite house of relationships for you in Virgo. So for many, and there were grand crosses in the mutable signs directly affecting Pisces. So many Pisces have been going through life-changing transformations over the last year almost. And there is another such moment. And now there is an eclipse again. A lunar eclipse in your sign in Pisces, and especially the last 10-degree Pisces will feel it. In particular, all Pisces will feel like this, like something is shifting again in the layers. There is a possibility of turnaround, but specifically Pisces that are born from around 20th to around 30th degree in Pisces. And you can find out the degrees of your sun, ascendant, or moon if they happen to be in Pisces from my birth chart calculator in the planetary detail table. And the eclipse is happening exactly at 24 degrees in Pisces. So if you happen to be 24 degrees, if you happen to be 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 degrees in Pisces, whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, or Venus, your love life can turn around in a big way. For example, when I had an eclipse on my Venus, I got married that same year. Other people get divorced that same year. Other people, and the eclipse doesn't act, it's not going to mean that in September a big change will happen in every Pisces life. But an eclipse acts a month or two before and 6 months after the exact date as well. So it means that it's a prognosis almost for 6 months ahead. So especially if you're the last 10 days of Virgo, you're going to feel this eclipse more strongly, and especially important life transformations will come for those born around the 24 degrees of Pisces, which I would say is like, what is that? It's going to be about like the 16th, you know, 15th, 14th of March, something like that. People born around those days. The lunar eclipse is happening exactly on their sun, and they will be having life transformations, and it's going to be about something about letting go. leaving something in the past, because a lunar eclipse is when the moon is full, so something comes to fruition, to its optimum results. They can receive optimum results in regards to something. If it's the sun there, in regards to career. If it's the moon, in regards to family life, emotional relationships, you know, personal life. If it's Venus, optimum results in regards to relationships. But these optimum results can mean that either the relationship or the career can no longer go anywhere further. So there is a breaking point, so you have to let go of that career. Or it can mean like, yeah, finally a result is coming of extra efforts in regards to that area of your life, whatever the eclipse is happening. It's overall in your life, because it's Pisces, it's you, you know, whether it's your sun, moon or ascendant. All those three rule big parts of your life. So something that almost like come to fruition, gives its full fruits. They might be disappointing full fruits. They might make you realize like, I don't need this anymore in my life. Or they can be amazing fruits, and after that it's given its, you know, it's given its highest potential, whatever it could, because the moon is full, it can go no longer. And usually it comes to some kind of crisis and realization, but because this lunar eclipse is joined by Ketu, which is the point, which is the south node of the moon, which is the point of giving something up, which is the point of releasing something. So even if there is like this illumination and understanding, there will be an understanding almost on a spiritual level about something big in your life. And you realize that, okay, I can sacrifice this part of my life, or this person or that thing, because it's no longer productive for me. I'm ready to move on. So it's almost like some of you can be relieved over the next 6 months, starting from September, August, from an attachment that might have been burdensome. You might have like a ability to let go and detach. And on the material level it might feel like a loss, but actually on the spiritual level it's a great gain, because your soul is no longer burdened with something which is not productive. And Ketu eclipses, which is what's happening in Pisces now, they're all about spiritual growth. They're all about giving up something and realize, or letting go of something. It might be an addiction, it might be something that shackled your soul for a long time, which allows you to feel freer and closer to God, because Ketu is the point of connection to higher power and God. But there is another eclipse, full solar eclipse, which happens at the beginning of the month, on the 1st of September. It happens in your 7th house of relationships. And as I'm telling that, I see something wonderful, a couple holding hands and playing with a dog, which is talking about relationships exactly. And that eclipse in your 7th house is a point of gain, because this is where Rahu is, and it's about new beginnings, and it's where the sun and the moon are meeting. And the sun and moon, when they join together, I keep repeating in all the videos, but this is when male and female join, what happens? New life is created. And the Rahu, the point of gain, is there, so something material, something tangible can be experienced. It's kind of where you take, and it's happening through your relationships. Especially if your ascendant is in Pisces, you'll feel it. Especially if you happen to have your sun, moon or ascendant in Pisces in the last, from the 5th degree to around the 14th degree. You know, ascendant on the moon in Pisces from 5th to around 14th, 15th degree. You will feel this eclipse the strongest. All other Pisces can, so just keep in mind, just those are more on the point, but especially those who are born around the 8th, 9th, 10th degree, 11th degree, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th degree, they really are feeling, they can be like a big new beginning in their life through others, through partner, business, personal, through marriage, through a relationship, an ending of a relationship to make space for a new one, some kind of a crisis in relationship, which actually turns gainful for you. I'm not talking only in material ways, but somehow like some crisis happen in the relationship, which actually later on allows you to improve that relationship and to gain the partner even stronger. Or that all of a sudden there can be some crisis in relationship and a new one appears that can be very fated long-term relationship, because Rahu and Ketu eclipses, they bring fated relationships. They bring relationships, especially when they happen in the 7th house. Especially when it's Rahu, it's someone that you have to create new karma with. If it's a Ketu that forms basically a eclipse, which is in Pisces, but it's not in your 7th house, it will be about you having learned a spiritual lesson, someone from the past coming that you have to complete the spiritual lesson with and letting them go. With Rahu is you have a lot to learn from each other, and it's in your 7th house of partnership, Pisces. So if you meet someone now, or if you've met already someone, this eclipse there will give you an opportunity to actually somehow gain and grow through that relationship, and to have it in a material, tangible way rather than some spiritual lessons from it only. But if you happen to have Venus in Virgo, in Pisces, you know, because many Pisces sun might have Venus in Pisces, and the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse happens to fall on it, which is Ketu. It will be a lesson of love, about letting go, about completions, about completing something. But you know, it's kind of, your whole personal horoscope has to be seen, but definitely big life changes coming to you overall in your life and through others. Even if you don't know any degrees, if you're Pisces, there can be new beginnings through others, and also letting go of past and redirecting your past in a different direction, and removing some burden from your life. Even if it might not feel like a burden to you now, it will, you eventually will realize it was. Okay, and then the next big thing is that Jupiter, also you have Mercury retrograde in your 7th house. My God, how did I forget that? Mercury is retrograde most of September, again your 7th house. You see, the solar eclipse is in your 7th house, allowing space for something new to appear, something karmic, something that has to create new karma in your life, basically, with Rahu. And it might be business partnership, it might be new clients, or it might be personal relationships, or it might be some very important friendship, because the 7th house is the house of others, with a marriage partner, business, important friend. But also the 7th house, when Mercury is retrograde there now, it's about relationship from the past can also pop up. So very interesting, a lot of dynamic and different possibilities with the planets ganging up all there. And relationship from the past can come up for you to reevaluate it, and maybe even recreate it because of the solar eclipse there, which allows for new beginnings. So kind of past relationship can come in, so you can maybe allow for new beginnings, or somehow for you to really transform it within yourself. Someone you haven't heard from, you can hear back from. Or it can indicate that if you're already in a relationship, it has to be reevaluated, even through some crisis happening. But because when Mercury goes retrograde, especially in the 7th house, people tend to have to, the Mercury becomes 3 times stronger. Mercury is the planet of expressing your needs, of communicating what you really think. And if you or your partner have been bottling down certain things about the relationship, Mercury goes retrograde, you no longer bottle it. It all comes out, either through your partner or from you. Either your partner like blah 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 and criticizes you because it's in Virgo and tells you everything that they don't like, and this can create a crisis in your relationship. But actually this crisis can be a healing crisis, like Virgo, because Virgo is about detoxing. And it's like when everything is put the cards down with Mercury retrograde, you kind of you have a chance to, because retrograde planets always require 3 times more hard work. So you might have to negotiate with partners, personal or business or marriage or boyfriend, girlfriend, or you might have to, you know, to bargain something. You might have to renegotiate the rules of the relationship. And if it's not, you know, if the person is not budging, or if you're not, and if there is no desire for compromise, Mercury retrograde can be the end of a relationship, for example. I've seen very often. Often enough. But also I've seen Mercury retrograde, yes, those issues come to the surface that they've been buried before, they haven't mentioned. So such issues from the past, say for example, you told your girlfriend she was fat 2 years ago, and now she brings it up, you know, because Mercury retrograde brings things from the past, and you can no longer hold things in. So you start expressing those things, and or she or your partner starts, or your business partner comes up and starts saying this, you know. Or you are kind of unhappy with the clause of a business partnership or agreement or contract, or how the roles are and the responsibilities are delegated in some kind of a working partnership of some sort. It doesn't have to be only love partnership. So there is a restructuring, rearranging and shifting of the layers and re-agreements. If you're trying to sign some contract, there might be the need to renegotiate. The deal might take longer, but as with everything, and might need more attention to detail, redoing, re-advising, creating plan B, plan C. But as with everything Mercury retrograde, or with anything retrograde planet, it requires 3 times more efforts, but it gives 3 times more good results. Just like I've seen, okay, couples have to renegotiate and agree on something, and there might be some little crisis, and then they're so much happy after Mercury starts moving direct, because they say, I'm so glad we took and sorted this out. It's no longer heavy on me, it's in the clear now. Our relationship is so much better, communication flows so much better, you know. So that's the positive. Or I've seen people, oh, I'm so glad that this business deal was delayed, because we had to look at some details, and we saw that now that we redid the deal, even though it took longer, the rules are so much better. I was so frustrated during the retrograde period, and when things are not happening, and stressing because the partners had other demands and things didn't go as expected. But I'm so glad now it happened, because actually there was a better plan out there. So that's how, just keep your mind on the longer term effects of Mercury retrograde. Actually, when Mercury turns direct, so by October, possibly by the end of October, you'll be able to see why it was a good thing, even though it might have been stressful, you know. And also try to be careful in communication, that you don't say things you regret after that, because retrograde periods, when you say something, they have a longer lasting influence. And also, you know, check the details of everything you communicate about. Okay, so there's another big thing for Pisces that is happening. Jupiter is entering your 8th house. Whether it's your ascendant, sun or moon, you'll feel it to some extent, especially from the ascendant to the sun and moon to a lesser degree, but still. And the 8th house is about mutual resources and finances. So what's happening there? I can give you an example. I've just had for 1 year Jupiter transiting my 8th house. Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion. And Jupiter is the planet of new opportunities. And Jupiter is the planet of, you know, of clarity and new creative ideas. And the 8th house is mutual resources. So what happened is that my income doubled over the last 1 year. And I knew it as an astrologer this would happen. I kind of didn't know how it was going to happen. You don't know, you don't have to know, but so many new amazing psychics and astrologers approached me, and we started working together, and it just grew up. And it's like 8th house is money that comes to you through others. And you know, if you have a partner, for example, your partner might get a promotion, or if you're in a business, the business can grow. If you're expecting money from clients, it can grow over the next 12 months, because Jupiter in Libra, this continues for a year. Jupiter in your 8th house, you know. But also the expenses increase, because 8th house is give and take, you know. It's receiving, and Jupiter expands anything. So it's receiving money from others, but also spending on others, investing in others, doing investments in something. So like you invest in something, maybe in other people's money, business plans or something, or in other people's talents. You invest, like what I did as well. I gained my income increase, but I started investing way more in salaries for others, in talents, in developing others' talents as well. So it's kind of the income increases, but so do the investments increase, the incoming and outgoing. But that's great. As long as there is flow, there is no stagnation, things keep growing. And for example, you can also receive some inheritance. You can receive some I had a lady in separation, in divorce, and she received a good alimony, she didn't expect to receive anything from the husband, but she did actually. He offered her some support as well. Or I had someone who's been trying to get an inheritance for a long time, and finally it got sorted out when Jupiter entered the 8th house. I had someone also, and 8th house is the house of sudden, almost kind of a reversals in life. Things that might feel a bit tragical, like divorces, like deaths, like accidents, incidents, like sudden turns around, losses and stuff. But actually when Jupiter is in the 8th house, through such sudden, unexpected reversals that everyone is afraid of, such sudden transitions, you can benefit through them. Like a woman who benefits through a divorce, like someone who benefits through inheritance, someone passes away. Like, or also it's good to play the lotto. I didn't play it, but it's other people's money that come to you, you know, or if someone owes you money, it can come as well to you. It didn't happen to me, but still, you know, more finances come, okay. But you can benefit through such kind of a sudden life transformations that can be a bit shocking. And Jupiter, the 8th house, is the house of personal psychological transformation. Without the 8th house, we can't transform on a deep level. 8th house is the traumas we keep, the pain, and Jupiter there can release them in a natural, healthy way, either through a guru, through advisor, through some fortunate circumstances in life that helps you release trauma or sadness. Because the 8th house is where we hold on to the darker side, and where our inner demons are. So maybe 8th house helps you release some addiction, helps you release some obsession, helps you release some unhealthy emotional state. And I can tell you, nothing has changed my life like Jupiter transiting the 8th house in the last 12 months. Of course, there were some other transits, but psychologically for many years I was on the verge of not depression, but apathy. Even though my business was growing, everything, personal life great, but on the verge of apathy, and I couldn't understand why. And then Jupiter transited the 8th house. There was a psychological transformation, because I naturally, you know, have a really blocked 8th house. So I transform emotions very difficultly. But anyway, I'm not talking about myself, but definitely when Jupiter transits your 8th house, there can be a release of past trauma, some kind of healing. And it's not going to happen immediately from September. It might take a few months, you know, for Jupiter to kick in, or even it might take till Jupiter comes out of Libra for you to see the results of that. And actually 8th house is the house exactly which is responsible for inability for intimacy, sexual intimacy, for inability to enjoy sexual healthy relationships as well. Inability to open up or to trust others. So basically when someone keeps attracting people that hurt them, people that don't give them what they need psychologically, emotionally, sexually, morally, because there was some trauma in the past, and it's often subconscious, we don't remember it, some fear, which is the 8th house, some inner demons that are blocking us to totally open and merge with another, because the 8th house is where we merge with another on a deep psychological level. And if you have any such issues, Jupiter transiting your 8th house over the next 13 months can exactly release those blockages and allow you to merge on a deep psychological, sexual level with another being, and to start receiving from others. Because when do we start receiving? Whether it's love, whether it's devotion, whether it's fidelity that we receive from others. It's when we're open, when we're open for such things, and when not only that, but when we're not afraid, when we've worked through our traumas and blockages that are there, those inner demons, those inner skeletons that are in the 8th house of traumatic experiences, when we release them, those fears, then we can receive from others. So this is when people can, for example, get money from a partner, when they can get support, like the finances increase because others trust in them more, or something like that, you know. And they can receive more devotion from partners, they can receive more sexual satisfaction from partners because they open themselves more. And it can be an amazing type to work with a psychologist or psychiatrist. And even if some big life reversals happen in you, because the 8th house is after all reversal house, and Jupiter is you, Jupiter rules Pisces, so wherever you are, it will be huge focus for you for 1 year, Pisces. But when, you know, by the end of this period, by the autumn of October 2017, I would think you'd have gone through some big life transformation, which takes you almost like on the other side of the river, and psychologically changes you and changes your point of attraction as well. Anyway, so thank you so much. I can speak about Jupiter in Libra for hours, but if you want to see specifically, because many Pisces might have, for example, Venus, the planet of love, in Aquarius, or they might have Mercury, the planet of business, in Aquarius. And Jupiter might be also trining this. And in my video Jupiter in Libra, which is 3 hours, I speak about all of those possibilities, and I personally send you an email if you order that webinar. It's a course actually, now it's recorded. I personally send you an email to tell you exactly what Jupiter else will influence in your life for the next 1 year and what to expect. So if you've missed that webinar, you can still order it for just $29. Thank you so much, Pisces, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, the name is Astrolada, where I give free readings, when I give discounts for those of you who write to me, for those of you who follow me on Facebook. That's where you can get all the discounts and all the free awards. So thank you.